certain points in this reality, you just start realizing what's best for everybody. I mean, it's plain and simple. What's best for everybody, you know. And I take offense to the fact that even I'm still participating in this system through force, of course, because even when you're in business, you got to pay Uncle Sam. He already in your family. They call him Uncle Sam. You see, he in everybody's family. Whether you in business or not, he involved. They call him Uncle Sam. So he automatically in your family, guaranteed. So he hustling you the whole time. So you funding the bullshit. So I'm participating in it at a minimal level. Everybody's participating in this shit, the funding. And so you just start to say, man, this shit is bullshit. The fact that they got us trapped up in this. We want better for all. And all I've ever suggested is the paleface need to find their home. It's obviously not here. You go up under that sunlight, I'm gonna tell you the truth. No sunscreen allowed, type shit. So don't let me tell you no lies, because I'm not here to tell lies. My tribes have always told the truth, and it's been to our detriment. People that look like me. I said this in another one of my little recordings. I said, you don't want to even bring forth life in this struggle, knowing that it's a struggle. You don't want to come in. You want to come into some nice. You want to come into an organic situation. This shit is far from organic because of some non-organics are running it, based on what I see in the image. And they playing like gods. They got us all paying him. I'm gonna tell you who he is. They got us all paying him. It's a mob shit. And I'm tired of funding the mob directly. Indirectly, I could get it, but through taxes, and that puts stress on people like me that are aware. So I'm constantly aware of how much things cost to get the less price, knowing that I'm paying less into it. So I go buy less groceries. And I buy less groceries. Certain things you just buy less of. You got to keep fuel in your cars, in your vehicles, so you really can't go too cheap on that. You're going to need to drive. But they got us in these toxins. You know, they got us in these toxins and stuff, so I can get out of this. I could go out to the land. I mean, I'm still in the epicenter. I'm in the city, so I'm in the worst place. It's where you get all the mixed signals. It's just too much conflict of energies within tight quarters. So these city centers are not places for tribal people to be amongst. Too many outsiders that have shown us to not have things in the interest for the better for all. I'm not even gonna say just for some people that look like me. Now I then came into the conclusion, since I am of the original should have the original say of what's the most organic for the lands, and that means from wherever the regions on these planets where these original people are. We need to talk to them. So I'm gonna represent myself as an original to the Americas, so I'm gonna speak like that. I ain't got no hate towards no others. My tribes don't never have hate. There's the people that came in that had nothing but hate, rage, anger. So they teach the whole world, suggesting that they know. They teach the whole world their ways of life, and you wonder why this shit's upside down. You didn't let some foreigners to the lands, because they're not organic to the lands. Remember, it was stolen. I'm not making this up. I can't make this up. So you got to realize what we're dealing with here. This is real life. Amongst their energies, I'm still able to gather, because you have to observe when you're dealing with them. There's some different kinds of beings. I am not here to harm them. We need to study them. and know that they need us more than we need them. This is ours. They're playing like it's theirs. That's the whole message. The tribal people don't have to preach hate. We don't have to preach hate. There's no reason for me to preach hate. It's not even a preach. I'm telling the reality of the situation. If there's a story of these so-called invaders coming in, stealing from those that were already there, those that were already there were of colors that look like me and darker and some lighter. Definitely not the pale face. They were tribal people. It wouldn't have been no question whose home was whose. So we have the story of them coming in and stealing things. And they gave us a lie talking about this out of Africa stuff. I ain't from no damn Africa. I respect the Africans. I respect all people from where they're from. So they try to do that game on us, once again suggesting that we're all from Africa. That's a lie. There's no way they can't tell us where they're from. Wait till they tell you where they're from before they tell you where you from. It's our job to tell them where we're from. I don't mind the good ones that are scholars and they are on the good side of telling the truth. There's a lot of pale face out here tell the truth. I respect them. But I know within their genes, genetically, we're different. And it's not right for the people that look like you all to control the global majority, what looks like me. I mean shades of, like me, darker, different pigments all over the world. I'm not the only pigment. I'm just saying they're gonna look like that. I'm gonna be one of the many colors that you're gonna see across the globe. And we still haven't found out where the pale face is from, because they headed for extinction in real time, based on what their scientists are telling us about them. So it makes sense. And they can't. So they need to go into those bunkers, in them underground compounds, because that's where they're from. Or they can't be from up here. Obviously, it's not working out. And we ain't even drew no guns yet on their ass. We haven't even had to draw no guns on them. Nature gonna root them out. And we're so damn good of a people. What's up, amigo? What's up? I respect the real amigos. On the image, I know they color. So if their mind is messed up, I go off of color, because I'm not colorblind. So I go off of color. And I already know if you're part of a tribe from the earth. Not just so-called in America, but you're from somewhere on this earth. When I look at the pale face, that's hard to find, and they still have not told me where they're from. They can't tell me they're from Europe, because they used to even in Europe, the blacks ruled over Europe, and they still coming back into ruling right now. You see what's going on? It's Islam nation over there in Europe right now. The Islam brothers then came in there. But all I'm trying to say is, because religion I'm not into. So don't get me wrong for quoting religion. I'm not disrespecting religion, but I'm not into it. I know it's part of the game of separation. So my job is here just to decode what I see going on in plain sight, not through no books. You're supposed to be observant. That's how animals live like they live. They ain't read no books, but they know how to survive in the wilderness, and you don't. You read all the books, but don't know how to survive in the wilderness. You got to go out in the wilderness to know how to live in this wilderness. And that's why I said the wild ones know how to do it. The wild species know how to do it. Our domesticated dogs gonna go out and get hit by a car unless you go somewhere tribal. I go like Thailand, Costa Rica and all that shit, Japan and shit. Dogs walking on the side of the street, they smarter. Even dogs outside of the United States are smarter. That's how bad they got us down here. The dogs know how to walk, even down there in the Bahamas. Dogs know how to walk alongside the street. Cars are driving and everything. They know how to walk alongside the damn street, go where they got to go and get back home, just like cats do. So that's dealing with original. That's only dealing with original people. That's how they got the connection out there. Everything slowed down here in America because Paleface running. I'm trying to tell you the truth, and I refuse to be up under his full control. Indirectly, I know I'm going to be under his control a little bit, but directly, I ain't worried about his ass, because I know everything he got, he done stole based on the history. I can't make it up. You go look at the people that look like me in our history. We're givers, we're lovers, we're not takers. We offer our hearts, our love, our compassion, and we still in love with you motherfuckers. That's why we still ain't showed y'all how we really feel. We're gonna sit here and wait for spirit to take care of y'all ass. That's how good we are. We do not have negative intentions. Historically, all you got to do is look across the globe and see who does what. Even to this very day, is what I'm trying to get to the point of, is why I am aware of my surroundings, the history of him, the history of me, the history of Africa, the history of Spain. You have to know these places to know who you dealing with. Can't assume they didn't told you the truth. They never have told the truth. They at war right now. They got the gas prices up. Food's going up. Everything costs more. So you got to work harder, or you got to go get a job that pays more. You're going to be working multiple jobs fucking with him. I'm trying to tell you, tribally, this is incorrect. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Tribally, this is incorrect. So I'm here to tell you, I'm just telling you straightforward, while this is in real time, while it's fresh on my mind. I didn't plot this out. Thought comes to your mind when you start using your brain, the other side of the brain that they told you don't work. You start using your spiritual side of your brain. If you tribal, and you start tapping into the real connections. I don't care if you're in the city, out the city, wherever, you're supposed to be tapping into who you are genetically. It's the only way you're waking up your genetic code. They don't have no genetic code to wake up. They got to feed off your energy. That's why he has you working at Amazon, Mr. Venezuelans. Mr. and Mrs. Venezuela. They have you guys working at the factories at Amazon. He can't hire his own to work at that factory. If he couldn't hire every time. When you look at the history of America, he didn't always have a job for people that look of color. And his own. He just paid his own more. It only makes sense. It's the art of war. So I don't mean no harm to him. I would just prefer for him to go back home so we can figure this out ourselves here as tribal people. For some reason, he continues to want to play as if he's the chief and executive operator of the lands. Just keep this thing real. He's not. So we need the tribal people to come back to the powers of the lands, because these lands are being controlled and operated by, under the control of the government, the jurisdiction, the law, everything. You got to realize all of this was set up for his genetic survival amongst the global population, which just so happens to be of color. He's a goddamn rarity on this planet. The smallest population of the being that's walking upright, like you want to call Homo erectus, or what they classify as Homo erectus, up on the 2 feet, walking up under the sunlight. He is the palest that you will find across the globe. He is genetically an alteration, or he's of a different kind. Bottom line is, if the smallest population wants to control the majority of the things that are going on, we've got a problem. And no one seems to want to deal with the reality of America. That's what America is. So how foolish would you be to say you're an American, not even knowing where you're from? You've been told a lie. So if you're still raising an American flag, I know you've been duped. I know your mind is tricked. I know you can't think on the other side of your brain, because they always taught you good. Yo, one side of your brain is functioning great, because within his system, that's all you need. That's all you need. The spiritual side is the other side of your brain that he told you does not work, because it will never. He can't even teach you how to make it work. He is not connected. None of his institutions could teach you how the other side of the brain works, because they don't tap in like that. We tap in as the indigenous people across the globe. I'm not just saying black people in America, but it just so happens we're the most influential. We are the most influential of all the so-called blacks across the globe. Just so happen to be here on Turtle Island. So there's something to be said about that, because if you're dealing with a higher spirit thing like this, that you can influence the world through peace, love, and harmony, which we brought the music, we brought the fashion, we brought the trend, everything. The lifestyles is something that was created by so-called Jewish at a certain point in time in history, where it was a big investment to keep the direction and flow of everything going 2 different ways. And they kept it on their train tracks the way they wanted it to go. I'm just speaking in plain text. So now we here to clean up this mess. We don't got to sign no Jewish contracts anymore. So there should be no excuse for real relevant music right now that to raise and higher the frequencies of the people of the tribal people of the earth. All people of the earth that are included in this thing that I'm after. I'm not after something just for some people that look like they're gonna look like me in color, a little darker, a little darker, a lot darker, or a little lighter. It's gonna be the tribal people of the earth once they mind is clicking on the other side, because that's the other side they don't teach at school. That's the whole motivation of this whole type of movement. These types of movements is to get the other side of the brain, because you already got their side down. Great. You get an achievement, standing ovation. Great. Why do you want to win in a failing system? Let's activate the other side of the brain, the part that he can't teach you. That means we got to get out here with nature, deal with it. It is what it is, knowing that we're under attack, and try to be positive about this thing, knowing that it is in our control without even having to harm anyone. The harm only comes when it comes down time to defending yourself and your family if these motherfuckers start to act funny. But on the open front lines, we don't go crazy like they do. We're not postal like that. They might start staging some shit like that, but we're not of those types of people. Historically, you go look at who you got to keep your eyes on when times start to get shaky. And it ain't people that look like us across the globe. We see who start the fight. You see who come in with the war machines, weapons, dropping bombs on families and shit just to control things. That's not of our tribes. The tribal people ain't involved in it. The tribal people only sign into it because they give you a, coming out of high school, they're kind of like promoting you to get money to pay for your college. You know, this is a great way to sign up and you get free money because you're going to have endless money for the rest of your life signing up with. You don't want to sign up for no damn military in America that don't represent the people that are for the good of this land. No, you don't want to represent those militaries. You want to represent something that's going to protect all the living water, the good water. We want to get this thing cleaned up, not dirty it up. Right now, you need restrictions going crazy right now. There's too many companies that are getting away with, I want to say murder. There's too many companies getting away with flat out murder, and that ain't right. This phone's finna die, so if it cuts out, it's gonna cut out on some good diagnostic. I should have got those metas, brought those metas. Either way, I got to the point. This is what's going on here. So just pay attention to your surroundings. There's still positive light at the end of this tunnel because you're going to be here forever genetically. You're going to be here forever genetically. Some people are not. And so that's why I said those people just need to go back home and stop pretending. We need all the pretendiers, the pretendians, pretending this. If you're not from here, you need to go back home. And if you have a place on earth, that shouldn't be a bad request. If you got somewhere on earth you were originally from, you know, but you're going to find out they're not original to none of the lands. So you ask, where are they from? I've already looked into it. They're not original to no lands on earth, not even Europe. So where is y'all from? You can't tell me you're from nowhere on earth. So go back home. It's that simple. They don't know how to tell you. You trying to tell kids something. They like kids, man. They're unruly kids, bro. And you don't have to mean no harm. Nature you don't have to mean no harm. But if we want things to accelerate for the better on this earth, you know, where we all have better health care. We have all the organic plants and trees are on this earth that do all the cures. We don't need no chemo. They got cancer healing, trees and plants all over this earth. You just gotta go talk to the tribal people of the lands. Don't go talk to some people that came in after the fact and they want to they capitalize on all of it. They go in and they got the money to invest, right? So they go in there and they buy the bigger bottles and take the more of the resources out of these places. That should be not allowed from some people that are not from Earth. And if they're from Earth, they got to go back to the region on Earth that they're from. They're not from none of these regions on the top of the Earth. I'm not saying they're not from the Earth, but they don't have an organic, original place on Earth. The original Europeans were of dark hue. The original Europeans were a dark hue. So I'm asking the question, where are these pale-faced ones coming from? Who are they? Because like I said, this is a different situation. It's a color game. And behind the scenes, it makes full sense where somebody in blackface could be running, somebody actually black could be running this thing. But they got the pale face in the front playing like they the ones in charge. The whole time I'm saying, somebody tell the truth. Yeah, somebody needs to tell the truth. Because genetically, you got to ask yourself, if you guys don't have an original location in where you're from on this earth, you must tell me where you're from. It's just plain and simple. All tribal people across the globe are not monetizing or not trying to capitalize on a what do you call it, cancer industry. They making big money on people getting sick. Children now, they don't even care. They feed on the children. That's how wicked they are. There's cancer cures all over the earth. When you tap into the tribal people from those lands that know the plants. You can't talk. We here talking to some Johnny-come-latelys. You got to talk to the tribal people that's from the lands, that know the mushrooms, that know the bark, the leaves, down to the roots. What do what for what? Why? Who else would you deal with other than the people that are from there? You're not going to deal with some highly scholared people that just read the books about it. They're just reading the books. They don't even know if it's fact. They haven't even tried the theory. They can't even go under the goddamn sunlight for that many days like the tribal people did to figure it out on this earth. They already headed for exit. And so, to be clear, why do we want to participate with these if we the global majority? If you the tribal ones, we the ones that are, what do you call it? We can adapt. Our adaptability levels is high. Like you said, let's say you had a video game and that would be like that's like, are they adaptive? That would be like a very important, like, I don't know what you call it, section, right? Yeah, how can they adapt to multiple terrains? Because in a video game, in reality, it's either hot or it's cold. How easily can these beings adapt to these climates? Because the paleface can't beat you even in the cold. They try to play this thing like, no, they got all the good gear. I see now they get down. They got all the good gear. That's like when they came into America, they had the gear. They so-called had the guns and shit. They had the tools they needed to massacre. That's historically. So you can't even tell me I'm making this up. That's the reality of what's going on. So just remember who you're dealing with. And there's no way they can possibly be the ones telling you everything about life. They're barely new to Earth. They're barely new to Earth. Your genetics have been here for the time since the original. You have the original blood in you. And that's why it still shows. These people are new to the scene, so how are you going to allow them to dictate what's right from wrong? These people don't even know where they come from. Their history shows you that they are invaders, right? They came in and they stole, divide and conquer, and they still got the world at war right now to this very day. I can't even make this up. It's normal to us because they taught us this shit's normal. These motherfuckers taught you that this shit's normal. This is all they know. They don't know about life, well-being, living long. They don't know about that kind of stuff. It just so happens it's in our blood, though. We might not know right now because we've been through his teachings. But when you start getting reactivated, you don't got to go back to school. You start tapping in the source. Fuck that school shit if it's coming through his doctrine, because that's going to have that side of your brain working right. What about the other side? The side they can't teach you. That's the part I'm focused on, the spiritual side. We already know their game. This game's finna collapse. This is a stressful game. Either you get in or you get, they make it like if you don't get in now, it's too late. It shouldn't be that hard, bro, to live no damn life. And if I got to live it under their rules of the S&P 500 and all this other dumbass shit, which I'm invested in some of that dumbass shit. I am invested in. That's why I said I'm signed up with these bitches. Because they got this shit through force. But if collectively we woke the fuck up, we could get the fuck up out of this shit. Some of y'all still go to work. My problem is I still bank with his bitch ass. I still gotta pay his ass phone bill when I feel like it. Still gotta pay for gas. But that's the reality of what you're dealing with, man. You ain't got to worry about these beings because they still haven't showed you where their home is. They can't even claim Europe. They can't claim Europe because Europe, the original Europeans were of color. Yeah, so you ask yourself, these so-called Europeans, man, they're not European. The original Europeans looked like you and me. And darker. Remember the worship of the Black Madonna? Yeah, they worship the Black Madonna. That's big in Europe, where they worship the black lady, the black woman. They depict her as very big, fat, voluptuous black woman. I mean, dark black, like jet black with the red lips. That's how they... You'll go look it up. I'm not going to lie to you. My job is here to clear up the confusion. They, the liars, we done been through all their teachings and all their schooling, so this side of the brain is already on. They got us tricked. The spiritual side got to get awoken because the spiritual side is the side most motherfuckers within this system is lacking. We can't, we got it in our blood. That's why it can always be awakened. I don't never think a brother can't be woke up or a sister can't be woke up. It's in your genetics. It's about a matter of time of how you put your time into the waking up. In other words, you got to declassify, calcify, but of course your pineal gland. But you got to get all the fucking bullshit, all the synthetics. You got to lessen that shit about your bloodstream because that shit causes confusion and thought process, not allowing you to even get to the spiritual side of the brain. He gonna tell you one side of the brain, the other side don't work. He gonna tell you that. He don't even know how to teach you the spiritual side. That's why, you ever thought why you could maybe even ask this motherfucker? You could even ask this motherfucker, why can't y'all teach us for the other side of the brain to work in y'all institutions and we paying y'all all this money? You even thinking that Princeton and Yale, you Harvard, you thinking even these guys would be thinking, you know what I'm saying, you're Stanford and shit, you thinking these guys would even be thinking to ask these questions. Nope, them schools are only for the good old boys getting fucked in the back, and they recruit from those schools, those brothers, to get sisters and people that's within those fraternities and sororities and shit to get into their governmental positions or some high pay. Yeah, they sell outs. They're not tapping into the other side because they got this side 100%, 5-star rated Purple Heart ass motherfuckers. Spiritual side is closed down for those cowards, and that's why they ain't doing nothing for you, because that part they didn't put so much effort in. For some of them niggas, that it might be too late. It might be too motherfucking late. Them niggas might not be able to wake the fuck back up. So this is for the tribal ones. Long story, I'm about to get up off here. This phone finna die. This is for the tribal ones that know this world, this earth should be better for all. We can't keep allowing these fools, these low lifes, to run this shit down across the globe. He don't respect Earth. He don't respect the people from Earth. He a non-respectable motherfucker. The whole time we showing him love, we paying him on time and everything. This bitch ass motherfucker get payment on time, or else if you don't, he still come get his shit. You don't pay him taxes, he'll come take your property. So he's still a bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah. The fact that we letting this bitch ass motherfucker run the show is the problem, is what I'm trying to say. That's the part I'm talking about. The fact that we let this bitch ass motherfucker run the show is the problem. And that let me know his teaching is working. He done taught you all ever since childhood, through K through fucking 12. And if dumber, you went on further into his schooling, his indoctrination. It don't never teach you the spiritual side of your brain. That's the side that he tell you don't work. He can't teach you that side. He's not spiritual. He only know how to make shit function in a force and seizure type setting. Look at his history. You'll know if I'm lying or not. Go look at his history. He gonna force his shit on you. And I'm saying, there's not a problem with everybody being able to live on Earth. So why the fuck is this motherfucker controlling and dictating who's gonna have and who's not gonna have? Because all he had is what he stole. So now he can redistribute all the stolen items, which is the land, and the belongings that's on the land, because you can't get past this part. You can't get past this part for remembering the story. People want to jump past the how did this start? How did this? Well, you're going to say your people signed out, your people signed off on document. Yeah, because your people was never doing paperwork. So that's the same like he do now. He tricking you into paperwork at the mortgage or a credit card. Yeah, you don't read the fine print to the phone for the cell phone you just bought, the brand new Apple you got. No, you didn't read none of that fine print. You signed and agreed. He's still playing a play on people. It's the same system. It's the same system. He's still playing the people, and y'all, and people is all still slaves. It's multiple color slaves now. Difference is he just cutting a check now. But you paying them back though. It's called the IRS. Uncle Sam, you still got to pay him back. He already involved in the transaction if you working W2, W9 and all that. You know how much you getting paid. He involved in all the transactions. He a bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah, through force. Through force. So he forcing it on you. Now you think you got a job? Yeah. Through force, he involved with it. And he said, well, that's part of the functioning system. This shit ain't functioning, bro. Healthcare is supposed to be affordable for all. Period. Period. No children should be touched by no adults. Period. Period. Within this system, they allow pedophilia. And this is a good system you want to stay in? You sick. You as sick as the pedophiles, bro. You want to stay in this shit? I want to out of this shit. And collectively, why the fuck we don't all want out of this dumbass shit? Collectively. Don't harm him. Just walk off. That's what I'm trying to get to. Just the walking off part. I'm almost there. I can't do it fully right now because through force, I got to use him, like I told you, for the banks. Because just to cash a check. Just to fucking cash a check. Deposit a check. Deposit a note. He involved in the transactions, homie. I don't care if you got millions or billions. He involved. The bitch motherfuckers I'm talking about. Bilderberg type looking motherfuckers. The Bilderberg motherfuckers. Yeah, he's still the one in charge. That's the part I don't like. And let's not hurt him. I'm not trying to promote hate or separation. My people that look like me don't do that. That's not our job. I don't want to harm nobody. I don't want to harm nobody. Harm is not part of nature. Animals are just not out here harming one another. Domestic animals might fight to the death. I've had dogs fight to death. Domesticated. Human intervention. That's why. They're not wild anymore. In the wild, let wild animals do their own thing. They've been in the wild. They actually know how to live in the wild. Domestication means you don't know how to live in the wild. And that's why I want less of as well. I want less of domestication. And that's how you're supposed to know. And that's how you're supposed to do it, so you need him less. And your spiritual side would be telling you this if you was awakening. That's why I be talking about with spiritual side. Yeah, spiritual side is the side that tell you, man, wait a minute.